Okay, let's start with this next chapter today. This is unit 11 of class 12, right? Organic chemistry, second book, second chapter. Alcohols and phenols. Now, what are alcohols and phenols? Alcohols and phenols, they have the functional group as OH, right? So this is the hydroxy group which they are going to have. In this particular chapter, we are going to study three different kind of compounds. One which is alcohols. The second one, alcohols, where we will study everything, its nomenclature, its isomerism, then its methods of preparation, its physical and chemical properties. Similarly, we come to phenols. Phenols also we are going to study all of these. And then after that we come to the functional isomers of alcohols and phenols, or which are known most commonly known as ethers. So these are the three things, and the chapter that has been divided into two parts. The first part, that is alcohols and phenols, and the second part, that is going to be ethers. Okay? So now you will see when we are doing the chemical properties of alcohols, there's going to be a lot of you can say lot of properties or lot of जो हमने हेलो alkanes में methods of preparation करे हैं, they may be the chemical properties of alcohols, right? So when we talking of organic chemistry, it's not so difficult because the reactions will be repeated again and again. The reactions which you've done in alkanes will be repeated in alcohols. Similarly, the reactions which you will be doing in alcohols, they will be repeated in aldehydes and ketones. Okay? So many reactions, they are going to be same as in when we proceed through organic chemistry. So in this, we are going to study three different compounds: alcohols, phenols and ethers. Right? Basically, alcohols, they are known as the hydroxy derivatives of alkanes. They are going to be known as the hydroxy derivatives and of alkanes. Phenols, they are compounds which are going to be aromatic in nature. Phenols are aromatic, where the OH group may be directly attached to the benzene ring, or it may be attached to the side chain. So there are two types of aromatic compounds which we are going to study over here. But specifically, if the hydroxy is directly attached to the benzene ring, this is going to be known as phenols. Okay, whereas this, in which it is attached to the side chain, this is known as alcohols. Rather than phenols, they are going to be termed as alcohols. So this is benzyl alcohol over here. So when we are talking of an alkane, substitution of hydrogen that is going to take place by the OH group to give us ROH. Okay? Similarly, if we are talking of benzene, substitution of H by OH, that is going to be known as phenol. So these are the two compounds which we have over here. Now, what is the importance of alcohols? When we are talking of C2H5OH, which is known as ethyl alcohol, this is one of the major components of intoxicating wines or beverages. Right? Just for example, we have whiskey, we have beer, we have wine, we have rum. So all these, they are going to have this as one of the major components, which is ethyl alcohol. Then ethyl alcohol may also be used in the form of rectified spirit, which is used as an antiseptic, which is going to be used as an antiseptic for many, you can say, for wounds and all. It is going to be used as an antiseptic, it is used as medicines. Then it is also used as a solvent for varnishes or lacquers. Okay? Varnishes is the shine which is given to all the wooden items. So usko bhi dissolve karne ke liye it is used as a solvent. Then we are talking of CH3OH. This is used generally as an industrial solvent, ठीक है? It is going to be used as an industrial solvent, and it is also the starting material of ethanoic acid. Starting material for ethanoic acid and gasoline derivatives. Right? So this is going to be the importance of methanol. Then we also see that there are many other compounds. For example, when we are talking of sugar, sugar also consists of OH compound or OH component. Right? So sugar, or we have cotton, we have paper, all these, they are going to have OH as one of the group which is present. So all these compounds, they are compounds containing OH groups, right? So now, because they're containing OH groups, they are studied under alcohols. Then we have another one which is C6H5OH, which is known as phenol. This is used as a disinfectant and it is also used as an antiseptic. Okay, it is used as an antiseptic and it is used as a disinfectant. Then we have hexachlorophene, another compound. Hexachlorophene. This is used as a constituent of several mouthwashes. Constituent of several mouthwashes and deodorant soaps, right? And deodorant soaps. So this is hexachlorophene, okay? And then phenols, they are also used as starting material for bakelite, okay? Or it is used as in the manufacture of dyes. So these are a few of the important alcohols and phenols which we have. Let's go on to the classification of alcohols and phenols. So when we are talking of classification, of alcohols and phenols, it can be classified, number one, on the basis of number of OH groups which are going to be present, right? On the basis of this, it is classified into monohydric alcohols. It is classified into monohydric alcohols. Monohydric, mono means one, so it is going to have one OH group over here. For example, we have many examples, CH3, CH2OH, or we are talking of CH3OH, or we are talking of, so all those compounds which are going to have one functional group, they are monohydric. In this case, even phenol can be taken as one of the examples because it has only one OH group. The second type we have over here, they are known as dihydric alcohols. Dihydric means that there are going to be now two OH groups which are present. So one example which we can take over here is that of ethylene glycol. And the IUPAC name of this is going to be, how to nomenclate it, it is going to be ethane 1,2-diol, right? The suffix used for nomenclature, that is going to be ol. So this is a dihydric alcohol, ethylene glycol. Then the third type, that is polyhydric. Polyhydric means that it is going to have more than two groups. More than two OH groups which are going to be present. For example, we can take glycerol. glycerol. So there are 3 groups which are going to be present. And if there are more than 3 present, an example we can take over here is so there are 6 hydroxy groups present over here. This is known as sorbitol. This is the common name. Sorbitol or mannitol. This is the common name, okay? Sorbitol or mannitol. So this is on the basis of number of OH which is present. The second classification which we are going to do, that is on the basis of hybridization of the alpha carbon atom. Alpha carbon atom is the carbon atom to which the functional group that is going to be attached. So let's go on to the second one on the basis of hybridization of alpha carbon atom, right? So on the basis of alpha carbon atom, we are going to classify into 2. This is the second base on which we are classifying. So number 1, if the alpha carbon atom, that is sp3 hybridized. In this case, we are going to get the normal alcohols. So the first one, they are going to be known as alcohols. Alcohols means we have again a simple example which we are taking over here, that is ethyl alcohol. Now this is the alpha carbon atom over here. This alpha carbon atom, that is sp3 hybridized. Okay, so these are known as alcohols. The second one which we have, they are known as allyl alcohols. Okay, so allyl alcohols means what? Allyl alcohols is that we have over here the alpha carbon atom as sp3 hybridized and the beta carbon atom is going to be sp2 hybridized. Okay, so this is allyl alcohols. The third one which we have in this is benzyl alcohols. Again, in case of benzyl alcohols, the alpha carbon atom, that is going to be sp3 hybridized. So this is the alpha carbon atom which is sp3 hybridized and the beta carbon atom over here is going to be sp2 hybridized. So this again comes under the sp3 hybridized carbon atoms. ठीक है? फिर उसके बाद we have the second in which the alpha carbon atom is sp2 hybridized, right? The second carbon atom in which the the second classification in which the alpha carbon atom, that is going to be sp2 hybridized, right? Now sp2 hybridized में the first one which we are going to get, they are phenols. Okay, so in case of phenols, this is the alpha carbon atom and this alpha carbon atom, that is going to be sp2 hybridized. ठीक है? फिर उसके बाद we come to number B, that is known as what? It is known as क्या बोलते हैं उसको, vinyl alcohols. It is known as vinyl alcohols. So vinyl alcohols, that is going to be what? In which again the alpha carbon atom is alpha carbon atom. This is going to be sp2 hybridized, right? So this is how we are going to classify these. Now when we're talking of sp3 hybridized, then we say that the alcohols may be further classified into the following. The first one is primary alcohols, or which is known as 1-degree alcohols. In case of 1-degree alcohols, the carbon atom to which the OH group is attached, that is linked to either one or none carbon atom. Okay? So over here this carbon atom is attached to only one, so this carbon atom is going to be 1 degree, right? Then second we have is secondary. In case of secondary, the carbon atom to which the hydroxy group is attached, that is going to be linked to two other carbon atoms. So we have over here CH3C, CH3H or OH. Okay? So over here, this is the carbon atom. It is linked to two other carbon atoms. So this is going to be a secondary or 2-degree carbon atom. Right? Then we have other one which is known as tertiary carbon atom. In case of tertiary carbon atom, the carbon atom is linked to three other carbon atoms. So over here, when we are talking of tertiary, we will see that the carbon atom to which the OH is attached, that is going to be linked to three other carbon atoms. So this is known as tertiary alcohol. Okay. Now this is very, very important, this classification, because this will be used while we are going to study all the trends. So you should be very clear what you understand by 1-degree carbon atom, what you understand by 2-degree carbon atom, and what you understand by 3-degree. So in case of 1-degree, the carbon that is going to be attached to one carbon atom or none. Okay? In case of secondary, the carbon atom is attached to two other carbon atoms, and in case of tertiary, the carbon atom that is going to be attached to three other carbon atoms. Right? So let's go on to the nomenclature. Now when we are talking of nomenclature over here, now there are two systems of naming any organic compounds. You're already aware of this because you've done it in your class 11. One is the common system. Common system that depends upon the fact from where the organic compound has been obtained, or in other words, it depends upon the source. It is also going to depend upon what? It will depend upon the color, it may depend upon the taste, right? So common system is going to be any compound may have more than one common names. But IUPAC nomenclature, that is named according to the rules and regulations, and according to the IUPAC, all those, it will follow the longest chain rule, it will follow the lowest locant rule, which you've already done in your class 11, it will follow the lowest sum rule, right? And then the order of preference of how you're going to order them with respect to the functional group, the double bond, triple bond, and the substituent. Okay? So all those rules they are going to be followed over here. So we're not going to go into detail of nomenclature. We just want to see how do we name it in the common system and in the IUPAC system. So a few compounds whose table I have made. For example, let's go on to the first compound of the series, which is homologous series, which is CH3OH. Now, iska jo common name hoga, that is going to be methyl alcohol. So this is how we are going to give its common name. And when we are talking of IUPAC nomenclature, the IUPAC name of this, that is going to be meth, according to the number of carbon atoms which is present, single bond, ane, and the functional group ol. So this is going to be known as methanol, right? In a similar manner, we have C2H5OH, which is going to be known as ethyl alcohol, right? And the IUPAC name that is going to be ethanol. Then we have CH3, CH2, CH2OH. Now over here, this may have different forms in which this can be written. For example, in this, the OH group that is attached to the first carbon atom. So this is known as, and it's a normal chain, this is known as N-propyl alcohol, or it may be known as propanol. Okay? Similarly, then this can also be written as CH3CHOH. Now, as this is the isomer of this, in the common name, this is named as isopropyl alcohol, right? This is known as isopropyl alcohol, and the IUPAC name that is going to be propane 2-ol. Okay, it is known as propane 2-ol. Then we can also take over here another form or another compound which can be written in 3 different forms. For example, this is 4 carbon atoms, so this is N-butyl alcohol, right? Or the IUPAC name, because 4 carbon atoms are present, this is going to be known as butanol, right? But if we are changing the position over here, we have CH3, CH, CH3, CH2OH. Then this is going to be known as isobutyl alcohol. Isobutyl alcohol. Okay? Or what is going to be the IUPAC name of this? 2-methyl propanol. This is known as 2-methyl propanol. Okay. Now this may have another isomer. So what can you see over here? We have 4 carbon atoms. So this is known as tertiary butyl alcohol. Right? So this is, the common name is going to be tertiary butyl alcohol. And what is going to be the IUPAC name? The IUPAC name will be 2-methyl propane-2-ol. This is going to be the IUPAC name, 2-methyl propane-2-ol. Okay? So these 3, they are going to be isomers. Then we come to cyclic alcohols. Cyclic alcohols means that there is a cycle which is present with OH present at one of the positions. This is going to be known as cyclobutanol, because there are 4 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is known as cyclobutanol, right? So in a similar manner, if there are 6 carbon atoms which are present, this is known as cyclohexanol. Okay, so this is how you are going to name the cyclic compounds. Now if in case we have polyhydric alcohols, polyhydric alcohols का मतलब क्या हुआ? We have CH2, CH2OH and OH, right? This is, otherwise if you're looking at the common name, this is known as ethylene glycol. But if you're looking at the IUPAC name, this is going to be known as ethane 1,2-diol. This is going to be the IUPAC name, ethane 1,2-diol. Okay, then let's go on to other examples of this. Alright, so when we're going to another examples, we are taking over here now polyhydric alcohols. We've taken already 1-ethane, 1,2-diol. If we have CH3, CH, OH and CH2, right? So this is known as what? This will be known as, the common name is propylene glycol. This is known as propylene glycol. And if you're looking at the IUPAC name, sorry, यहाँ पे भी एक OH आएगा. If you're looking at the IUPAC name over here, this is going to be known as propane 1,2-diol. Propane 1,2-diol. ठीक है? And if we have over here glycerol. Glycerol is CH2OH, CHOH and CH2OH. The common name of this is glycerol. Okay, and what is going to be the IUPAC name? Propane 1,2,3-triol. Propane 1,2,3-triol. So in a similar manner, we can also do the nomenclature of phenols. When we talking of nomenclature of phenols, the aromatic compounds, they are more commonly remembered by their common names rather than the IUPAC names, right? So we're talking of the simplest compound which we have, OH. This is phenol. This may also be known as hydroxybenzene, but more commonly this is known as phenol, right? Now if we have a CH3 group which is attached to it, this is known as orthocresol. Please remember all these common names because they are going to be important in any type of question. Okay, so this is known as orthocresol. In a similar manner, if the OH shifts to the meta position, this is going to be known as metacresol, right? And if it is shifting to the para position, then this is known as paracresol. ठीक है? फिर उसके बाद if there are two OH groups present, OH and OH, this is known as catechol. This is known as catechol. Now if one of the hydroxy groups that shifts to the meta position, this is known as resorcinol. And if it is present at the para position, this is going to be known as quinol. Right? So these are the names. If we have three hydroxy groups, and all of them they are at the adjacent position, then this is known as pyragalol. In your competitions, you may be asked the number of sigma and pi bonds present in any of them. So you should know the formula according to the common names. For example, you can get a question, how many sigma and pi bonds are present in resorcinol? So you need to know that what is the formula of resorcinol, otherwise you will not be able to answer the question, right? In a similar manner, if we have over here OH and CHO group present, then this is known as salicylaldehyde. And if in case instead of OH we have COOH group present, then this is known as salicylic acid. Okay, so these are a few of the common names which you need to know. Then let's go on to the isomerism in alcohols. Let's now go on to the isomerism. You already are aware of what isomerism means. All those compounds which have the same molecular formula but have different structural formula, that is what isomers are. Now when we are talking of isomerism over here, the following isomerism that is going to be shown by alcohols. The first one which we have, that is chain isomerism. Now what do you understand by chain isomerism? Over here the molecular formula is going to be same, but the chain is going to be different. So an example which we can take over here is that of CH3, CH2, 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 CH2OH. This is known as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pentanol. Okay. Now, if the chain is different, it means we have CH3C, CH3H, CH2, CH2OH. So you can see over here that the chain has a branch now, or its branching has been done over here. So what is going to be the name of this? It is going to be 3-methyl-butanol. Because if you're numbering it from here, at the third position there is a methyl group. So this is known as 3-methyl-butanol. Now as the chain is different, therefore this comes under chain isomerism. The second type of isomerism which alcohols may exhibit, that is known as position isomerism. Now, what is position isomerism? Again, in this case, the molecular formula is going to be same, but the position of the OH group, that is going to be different. Okay, so over here, if we have CH3, CH2, CH2OH, this is the lowest member which can show position isomer, that is propyl alcohol or propanol. So this is propane 1-ol. If the position of OH, that is going to be different, this is going to be propane 2-ol, right? So these are position isomers. The third type of isomerism which it may exhibit, that is known as functional isomerism. In case of functional isomerism, the molecular formula is same, but the functional group is different. For example, we say that alcohols and ethers, they are functional isomers of each other, right? So when they are functional isomers, they are going to have different set of chemical properties. Okay, the physical properties may or may not be same for the same number of carbon atoms, but chemical properties, as the chemical properties will depend upon the type of functional group, so the chemical properties of functional isomers are always different. An example which we can take over here is CH3, CH2OH. This is ethyl alcohol, and the functional isomer of this is dimethyl ether, CH3O, CH3. This is known as dimethyl ether. So both of them, they are functional isomers of each other. If you need to take another example, we have CH3, CH2, CH2OH. This is propyl alcohol or propanol, and the functional isomer of this is going to be CH3O, CH2, CH3. Ethyl methyl ether. Okay, then the alcohols, they exhibit a special kind of isomerism over here, which is known as tautomerism. This type will only be seen, or this type of isomerism will only be seen in those cases in which there is going to be a double bond present in the compound with the hydroxy group. Okay, so if we are having any such compound, let's say we have CH3, CH, double bond C, OH and CH3. Suppose this is the compound which we have. This is known as but2-ene-2-ol. Okay, it is but2-ene-2-ol. Now in this case, there is going to be simultaneous shifting of the hydrogen and the double bond or the pi bond. So hydrogen, that is going to shift on this carbon atom, and the double bond that will shift, or the pi bond that will shift to this carbon atom. So as a result of which, the isomer which is formed over here, that is going to be CH2C, double bond O and CH3. Now this is known as what? This is known as butane 2-ol. Okay, tautomerize means shifting of hydrogen and the pi bond simultaneously. Now over here you will see that in this particular compound there is one OH and one ene which is present. So this is known as enol, ene and ol together. This is known as the enol form. Whereas over here there is a keto group which is present. So this is known as the keto form. So this tautomerism is known as keto-enol tautomerism, right? then all of these, they are of course going to show optical isomers also if there is a chiral carbon atom present. So the next type of isomerism which it may exhibit, that is known as optical isomerism. But optical isomerism is going to be present only in those compounds which is going to have a chiral carbon atom. Okay, so if we have any compound of the type this is butane 2-ol. Sorry. Yeah, pink hydrogen. This is butane 2-ol. If we are looking at the mirror image of this compound, you can see that there is a chiral carbon atom which is present, a stereo center which is present over here. We've already done this in quite a detail in our previous chapter. So, यहाँ पे क्या आ जाएगा? The mirror image of this, that is going to be C2H5. And you know how it works, okay? 180-degree rotation is going to be given to this, where the C2H5 that is replaced by CH3 and the CH3 is replaced by C2H5. They are going to be non-superimposable mirror images of each other, therefore they are going to be optically active. So all those which have a chiral carbon atom over here, they all are going to be optically active. Okay? So this is the first part of the chapter which we have finished just now. We will do the second part in our next class. Okay?